what is it about online business in your mind that is so different to anything else people could do out there?
Well, I think the biggest thing I think it offers is, I think we kind of fear technology, we fear change, but at the same time, like, we crave it and we want it. I think the biggest thing that online business gives us is the ability to build a life that's more meaningful. What does every human being want, right? We want to do what we want to do. We want more choice. We want abundance. We want financial resources. We want fulfillment, right? We want to pursue our passions. We want to do the things that are near and dear to our heart. And we didn't really have, let's go way back, not just the 9 to 5, but let's go like even further back, right? It's like sometimes people were struggling just to eat, right? Struggling to, that lower level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is shelter, food, air, water, like that. Those were the primary drives for humans. Now it's like society's set up and we're advanced enough where that's not a problem for most people in the world. So now we're pursuing like more achievement, more fulfillment, maybe even consciousness, things that are more important to us. So the beautiful thing I think about online business is that it gives us the ability to really create a life that we want, where we don't have to trade time for money. We don't have to sit in an office. We don't have to make these concessions to things that are ultra, ultra important to us. And it opens up the world of possibility. No matter what your background is, no matter what your career was, no matter how old you are, all that's nonsense, because I've seen all people from all walks of life learn this stuff, right? So that's like, to me, the core of it is opportunity that wasn't necessarily there even in the 90s, even in the 80s, but it's all here for everybody today.
Just out of interest, how would you speak to somebody who feels like they don't deserve it in some way, all that abundance, that freedom to live their greatest life effectively, feels that's being selfish in some way, or they need to work hard for something, otherwise it doesn't mean it?
I would, the first thing I would say is, where did you learn that perspective from? Right? Because it's not something that you were born out of the womb with, right? There was somebody who taught you that. And then I would say, well, if the person who taught you that, are they living the life that you want? Right? Because it could have been the opposite. So why don't we deserve it? If you grow up thinking like money or having success is evil, well, you'll believe that. I know many people who live great lives and who are beautiful people, but it's not money that determines or success that determines. It's who you are, what's your value structure, right? So if you value important things, the right thing, if you have integrity, why wouldn't you deserve it, right? If you help people and you solve a problem, is there value in that? Are you saying like I should just sacrifice myself to help people? Well, that's not a good feeling either. So, I think we all kind of deserve that. Who doesn't deserve having a good life? Who doesn't deserve a thank you if you do something well? Who doesn't deserve, that reciprocation of giving and receiving? So I think we kind of block a fundamental law of life when we say, oh, I don't deserve that, meaning that I don't want to receive, right? So I would question, where does it come from? And then start to understand that and then reshape some of those beliefs, because I believe that we're all deserving of those things.
And I believe as well that we can't fill from an empty cup.
That's right.
And that actually, if we look after ourselves and our needs, not just our financial needs, but also our, social needs, our need to give back and to reciprocate to other people, that actually we benefit from that, not just financially, which means that we've then got the resources to share with other people. We can pay it back that way. But that by being our best selves and doing our best work, the work that we were called to do, the work that we were put on this planet to do, we're doing such a service, because we're all unique and we all have something, a gift to give the world. And if we're not giving that gift because we're busy slaving away, making somebody else's gift come true, we're hiding our own. And if we're actually doing a service to the world in that case.
Yeah, there's beauty in that. And think of how many people are telling you what your gift should be in work environments or working for people and doing the things you don't want to do, versus maybe just slow down a little bit, think about like what's important to you, what's the type of life you want to create, and then figure out a way that you can bring that gift to the world, or you can build a business around that, or you can offer value, because there's so many ways you can do that.
And what sort of ways would you say, how is it beautiful to do it online? What does the internet give us the opportunity to do that we've never had before?
So it's an information age. It's about sharing. So the first thing I would say is, what is everyone's own perception of their life? If I were to say to people, hey, you could build a business around your passion, you could build a business and, sell products or services. It's like the first thing is to realize one thing. There's power in our own story. There's power in the life that we've already experienced, right? And I think a lot of people think, well, I had these heartaches, I had these challenges, I got my butt kicked in life. It's like, maybe I was unhealthy, I didn't know how to make money, and we solved these problems. I have a story around these things. Now there's pain there, there's triumph there. That in of itself, by proxy of us living on this earth, by proxy of us having an experience in life, means one thing. I am valuable enough to share that story and to give that gift to somebody else. All right? Whether, you don't need to even figure that out perfectly if you want to start kind of pursuing the depths of like what you're passionate about or what has life taught you, because I want to take a new way of earning. I want to take a new way of living. All right? And the beautiful thing about the internet, to answer your question, is that if we live in an information age and parts of our stories and our experiences in life are valuable, well, now I have an opportunity where I can share that. I can create a product around that. I can sell a service around that. I don't even need my own product or service, and I can sell another company's product that I feel represents the value or that I'm passionate about because I want to help people solve their problems with that, right? And the beautiful thing about the internet and about online business is that there's so many ways that you can use your own realizations, the things that kind of you awoken to, how you're solving your problems, and I can put a message out there to other people who kind of are having problems. And I only realized that through my own life journey. And the internet is a beautiful way where people can have that outlet to share, to communicate. And the beautiful thing is I can reach a global audience. I can make sales. I can be remunerated for that. I can live an abundant life for that, but I can also help people live an abundant life by solving their problems. And that's where it feels good. It goes back to that deserving thing, right? You kind of break through all those limiting beliefs or chains, so to speak, where it's actually, no, we can have the best of both worlds, right?
And do you feel, because I certainly feel that I've found through it's been a journey, but that's the experience that I've had and I have nowadays in my business, in what I do, is that wonderful mix of sharing my story, having an outlet to express it, and seeing the impact that has on helping others and serving others just by being myself. And for years, I wasn't myself. I was hiding behind a mask. I was hiding behind expectations, the way it should be done, the way my parents told me success in life was supposed to be. And I was a people pleaser, needed to make everybody else happy, because then if everyone else was happy, then I would be happy. And that turns out that wasn't the case.
Can I ask you a question? What was that like? How did you go from, well, I don't know, like, I'm people please, I'm not honoring what's in here, I don't know if there's value in my story, to putting yourself out there and then seeing the benefits of doing that? What was your experience from going from this side of the equation to the other side?
Painful, but so liberating. And it started through this online journey, through this, exactly what you say about learning there's power in my story and how can I use my story to help others. But first I had to figure out, well, what is my story? What is my value? And how can I uncover that? I don't have any value, I just do, the world operates, I'm just part of it, I'm just a cog in the machine. Why am I special? Why am I unique? What have I got that nobody else has got? And I had to go through a discovery process.
That's right.
And I've done that. And the key turning point for me was when I stopped trying to be anything but myself, stopped trying to be what I thought other people wanted me to be or who I thought they wanted me to be, And it was actually through the 90-day video journey, through a video journey of having to record a video every day in a safe space to people who I knew wouldn't judge me and who would just take me on complete face value. They didn't know me from before. I didn't have the baggage of expectation of, oh, this is Caroline, she used to be an IT consultant. This is Caroline, she used to be a photographer. This is Caroline, she used to be my, the friend who was always there for us and, or whatever it was. I was just Caroline. I was just there. And in a way, I could explore that identity. And I learned that when I just literally told my truth, down to what I'd had for breakfast that day, I'd had a bad day because something had happened and it upset me, or I'd watched a webinar and it had brought up some grief because I'd recently lost my best friend and I was still processing a lot of grief. And when I actually cried on camera and I actually talked about my grief, for example, in that moment, and I felt, and then shared that in this community, and I wasn't judged, I wasn't criticised, I wasn't, oh, you're weak, oh, you cry on camera, nobody wants to see that. It was the love and support and compassion I got in return that enforced that, or a new belief that actually I'm okay as I am. I don't need to be anyone else. And then I started to explore that a bit more. And it still is. I live in that space now where I don't care anymore what anyone else thinks.
It wasn't about the judgment of other people.
No.
It was your own self-judgment.
It was.
Right? And then it's like other people just mirrored back to you your own truth and power.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like, wow, okay. And then that just fell off.
Completely.
Right? And then in that moment, then what's possible is everything is on the other side to that. Right? And then when you really think about it, we don't want fake relationships. We don't want like the perfect version of people. We want people to be heartfelt, vulnerable, have integrity, honesty. Everyone's willing to accept imperfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's better than anyone else on this planet. Nobody's worse than anyone else. And we have all these stories of it being not that. But it's beautiful when you could get into a space and just let all that go and just share. And there is power in sharing. And even, again, going through a discovery process, like I would recommend to anyone, as you know, in your journey, as I've realized, is be vulnerable enough to give yourself that gift. Because on the other side to it, it's only going to create a better quality of life. Who wouldn't want to be that version of themselves to themselves on their own journey? Who wouldn't want to give themselves that gift, right? And feel fulfilled, make money, and have fulfillment in terms of a way that you never had it before. People pleasing. Oh, I made them happy. But we sacrifice ourselves. No, it's like, let me take care of that foundation. Let me put myself in a position of moving through all these limiting beliefs and then give to people from a place of power rather than, oh, I'm just going to do it because, even though I don't want to do it, I'm just going to do it just because. It's a game changer.
It is. And I don't know how you feel, but I certainly feel now. So now I'm financially independent. I earn my own money all by myself. Yep. I don't need anyone else now. I'm completely self-sufficient, which was one of my goals. But every penny I earn now, it's about, I've done that through being myself.
Yeah.
I've earned the right to have that money because I've given value. That's right. Just by showing up, just by being me. And it doesn't feel icky. It doesn't feel, like I've sacrificed anything, like I've manipulated anybody, like I've done anything, which, because I had a lot of stories around money that, you had to be something to earn money, or you had to, selling was a bad thing. Sales is bad because you're convincing people to part with something. I don't feel that anymore. And that in itself, the money I earn, I feel so good about what I've done. That's an exchange for the value that I've offered to the world, just by being myself. And I want more people to have that experience because we've all got gifts that we want to, that we would be doing the world a service.
And think of what's possible on the other side of that. Where before your belief blocked that whole world that can open up, right? And it's once you make that shift, whether it's on sharing videos on social media in a private group or, coming to your own realization. And now, okay, you're self-reliant. You bring a gift to the world. You work from anywhere you want. You have time freedom. You have geographical freedom. You have fulfillment. It's almost like, well, what could this be? Well, how big can you think, right? How special is it that you want to think about what you're doing? What is that beautiful gift that you want to give other people? It could be anything. But now look at what's possible versus that old version of you, right? And who doesn't deserve that?
Exactly. And do you see, with your experience of having seen other people go through the journey, through the training that we offer and the programs that we offer, do you see other people going through that transformation, a similar transformation?
Every day.
Yeah.
I see it every day. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't know this. I don't know what it's going to look like. What am I going to sell? I don't have a product. Who am I going to market to? What's my niche, or what's that little special message that I have for people to have them, trust me and to transact with me in business, and well, all these things. And none of it really matters, right? Again, you just have to trust that process. You have to trust that journey. And, I see people, they're plotting along, right? And it doesn't even take that long. The more we let go and surrender and open ourselves up to, having people help you, having people show you the path, having people share how they did it, having people share how they overcame maybe limiting beliefs, or how they figured out how to build a business around their life experience, or how to offer a service around their calling, or how to pursue something in their heart. It's like, it opens up the whole world. And I see people having these light bulb moments. I see them get stuck, but I see them keep going. And it's almost, they look back and they see like, well, how ridiculous was I to even thinking about stopping or not trusting it? So yeah, I think it's powerful when you're in that right environment, a nurturing environment, right? It's scary when you kind of have the belief and then you don't give yourself the environment, the coaching, the mentoring, or you have positive people around you, because then it reinforces the limiting belief, right? So it's like, if you're going to do it, go all in. Don't do it with one foot on a banana peel, but one foot on your dreams, right? Put both feet in and trust the journey. Nothing is here to stop you. Nothing. There's literally nothing that's here to stop us.
It's ourselves.
That's
we
it.
get in our own way.
Yeah, or we get in our own way, or we get out of our own way, right? It's like we stop ourselves, or we open the doors to everything that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful part about this. It's like, even a lot of people in the beginning, they're like seeking maybe money or time freedom, which is cool. It's great. But it's like, as you keep plotting along, it's like, wow, you have fulfillment. Wow, I'm powerful. Wow, I love myself more. Wow, I'm at such peace with myself. Wow, I actually understand what success truly is. And sometimes I think it's far, far more deeper than these initial pursuits that we're on. Because I chased money for a while in my career, and it led to one thing. I made money, solved some of my problems, but it led to disenchantment, because if I just was ruled by money and that's all I cared about, didn't really like fill the cup.
How did it feel? Can you describe that feeling?
Oh, I would say that, so making money, well, I came up from a house where I grew up not having money, right? I knew what it was like to struggle. I knew what it was like to see people in my town, where I grew up in like a town where people had money, but I was in like one of the older neighborhoods, grew up in a 2-bedroom house, shared a bedroom with 2 other brothers. And I was like, wow, well, what are these things that other people have? Actually, not having money and having excuses about us not being powerful, it creates problems in the household. So my parents fight about money. I saw my mom complain about money. I saw my mom make major sacrifices in her own happiness and peace from this scarcity mindset, from not having money, advocating and adopting to a struggle. I was like, oh no, I don't want any of that. So the first thing is that it motivated the hell out of me, right? So when I started to make money, it did give me a sense of accomplishment. It did give me a sense of self-worth, but it didn't give me, because then that just opened up the next evolution of myself, and I think that we're scared to, oh, that person's egotistical, that person thinks they're the shit, or that, in order to transcend the ego, we must have an ego that's worthy of giving up. And this comes from a book I read, Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. So it's like, what's better? thinking we're great, even though it's like money's driving us, but it's like, well, who the hell just wants to be driven by money? That is way better than being broken, thinking you can't do anything and just being helpless in the corner and just like shaking. Where's that going to get you? Nowhere. So I honor that part of my early journey where I was driven by achievement and money. Then when I realized, oh, this is not really giving me what I want, but okay, I got money, now I got resources. But then it just led to, okay, I want fulfillment, I want purpose, I want to follow my passions. And it just opened the next world and the next world, then inner peace and then consciousness and then wanting to help people, sharing more love. And it was like, wow, it led me to becoming a better person. It led me to becoming everything I wanted to be to myself.
Not to anyone else.
For me.
For you.
Yeah.
And how does that feel now?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine life without it, right? Who doesn't deserve that?
And how do you help other people?
Be vulnerable, share, realize that, in those challenges, in our fears, and sharing how we get through them, stepping into them, helping other people by being courageous enough to take myself on means that I can then hold space and help people take themselves on in any facet of life. But it's like what we're terrified of is the key is what's behind that fear, right? The uncertainty, the challenge. Well, stepping into that, that's what everyone fears, right? So stepping into that, it's like that weird catch-22. Oh, I can't do it because that may stop me. Actually, that's the thing that's going to make you. Right? It's like that weird dichotomy in it. But, we just have to let go and trust that it will get us there, which it does every time.
One last question, if I may.
Sure.
What's the favourite part about, I want to say your job, it's not a job, but your work, however you want to, what you do?
My favorite part is seeing, so my purpose, my mission in life, and I think, purpose is different. I think purpose can be construed or misconstrued, or people try, it means like I have this really null. Purpose could be anything. I think purpose is having the courage to step into what's in your heart. I believe that that's a life of purpose. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be some Buddha or some enlightened conscious person and have this like amazing mission of selflessness. Sure, it could be that, but purpose doesn't have to be that. I think purpose is, are you stepping into the things that are purposeful to you and meaningful to you? I think that is living purposefully or on purpose, so to speak. But for me, what that is I realize the power in my own story. I know what it's like to play scared. I know what it's like to be limiting. I know what it's like to believe I can't do something. When I broke those barriers, when I stepped into that and realized, well, not only am I capable, I'm more than capable. I'm no different than I just see myself and other people who just haven't made those decisions for themselves. So when I see them break through that story, that limiting belief, that narrative, that makes me more excited than teaching them a hard skill on how to do marketing or build a business online. It's like, it's baking in the belief stuff, the mindset stuff, the overcoming the fear stuff, shifting their story stuff through the entrepreneurial journey and seeing literally how they light up in that moment when they find their power and they say like, oh my God, like I'm more than capable. That is what I do it for today. There's a lot of other things I can do to make a lot more money than I'm making right now. I can name probably 100 different things I can do. I have the skills to market and sell probably anything I want. I choose to do what I do today because I'm here to leave a legacy on earth. And I don't even need acknowledgement for it. I'm going to put my head down on the last day knowing that I impacted thousands, tens of, the residual effect of who they're going to impact and they're going to impact to nudge this world in a better place. And for me, that's good enough.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for going through that journey.
Yeah.
Surrendering, growing yourself and honouring that purpose now, because you certainly impacted my life. And I know that you've impacted everybody that we're here with this weekend, and I know we're impacting other people, like you say, the ripple effect.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how many messages I get for how you show up in our community. Oh, it's Caroline's training. It's the confidence she gave me here, teaching me this hard skill, changing the way I believed about myself or what I'm doing. And that's the beautiful part by stepping into it, right? Why wouldn't anyone say no to that? Why? Give me one good reason why you should say no to discovering your power or what you're truly capable of. I'll wait. I don't think anyone can give me a good reason, right?
No, and I, thank you to you and Stuart and the team for giving me the opportunity as well to live my purpose through this work. Ostensibly I teach people YouTube advertising.
Yeah.
It's not what I do. I help people shine as their true selves and find themselves.
That's right.
And learn to honour that and to take that out into the world, where in whatever format that might be, whether that's through their business or friends, family, relationships. That's what motivates me every day.
Yeah, we're grateful for having you as well.
That's why I think we're aligned as a company. So,
and it's beautiful when you share that space, right? Because it's like we keep passing the gift, pass.
Yeah.
All you got to do is be ready to receive.
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
That's it. When we're ready, we'll get everything we want.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much, Justin. It's been an honour.
You're welcome.
And
Same.
a privilege. And
100%. Thank you.
Appreciate you.